Hello, hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are. Today on how to DeFi the system, where you get to learn about decentralized finance and a hopefully easy and digestible manner. We're going to be talking about liquidity pools, which are the new backbone of the DeFi world. So it's common when you're a crypto enthusiast like me that you participate in trading on a decentralized exchange. And the go-to mentality is to focus on the price of tokens and decide whether to buy or sell, deposit, withdraw. But it's really important to understand what liquidity pools are in a DEX. So the definition is a collection of funds locked in a smart contract. Liquidity pools are used to facilitate decentralized trading, lending, and more functions that we'll explore later. Liquidity pools are the backbone of many decentralized exchanges. Users, called liquidity providers, add an equal value of two tokens in a pool to create a market. In exchange for providing their funds, they earn trading fees from the trades that happen in their pool, and that's proportionate to their share of the total liquidity. Anyone can be a liquidity provider, and these auto market makers, or AMMs, have made market making more accessible. So what are the functions of liquidity pools? So these AMMs, automated market makers, have changed the game. They're significantly innovating and allowing for on-chain trading without the need for an order book or a centralized exchange. Because there's no counterparty that's needed to execute trades, traders can get in and out of positions on token pairs that likely would be highly illiquid on order book exchanges. You can think of an order book exchange as peer-to-peer, where buyers and sellers are connected by the order book. But now trading using AMM is different. You can think of trading as peer to contract. As we've mentioned, a liquidity pool is a bunch of funds deposited into a smart contract by the liquidity providers. When you're executing a trade on an AMM, you don't have a counterparty in the traditional sense. Instead, you're executing the trade against the liquidity in the liquidity pool. For the buyer to buy, there doesn't need to be a seller at that moment, only sufficient liquidity. In its simplest form, a single liquidity pool contains two tokens, and each pool establishes a new market for the same pair of tokens. So, if you're looking at something like US dollar, Tether, and BNB, it's not, so those pairs are in liquidity pools, but just as an example. So the first liquidity provider, when a new pool is created, is the one who decides the initial price of the assets in the pool. The LP is encouraged to provide the pool with an equivalent value of all tokens. Based on the liquidity provided the pool, the LP receives a special token called LP tokens in proportion to how much liquidity they provide to the pool. So the LP needs to burn their LP tokens if they want to get their underlying liquidity back plus any unpaid fees. Now this occurs through the smart contract automatically when you take your liquidity out of a lot of pretty much every decentralized exchange. By utilizing a deterministic price algorithm, any token swap within the liquidity pool results in a price shift. This process is also referred to as an automated market maker. Now, a constant commodity market maker algorithm is used for basic liquidity pools, which means that the amount of two tokens given remains the same. In addition, a pool still has liquidity no matter how massive a trade because of the algorithm. The main reason for this is that as the target amount increases, the algorithm increases the token price asymptomatically. So now, as we went into on another video, we're going to go into again really quickly an impermanent loss. So when you're providing liquidity, it's important to understand the impact of impermanent loss. It's the temporary loss of funds occasionally experienced by liquidity providers because of the volatility in a trading pair. It illustrates how much more money the LPs would have made if they had just held on to their assets instead of providing liquidity. So if you have 100 of one and 100 of another thing, and you put it into a pool, and one of the things goes up 50%, then your overall value is actually going to go down 25%. If you decide to withdraw your tokens. If you do not withdraw your tokens and that value which gone up 50% goes back down, then you'll still have the same value plus whatever fees you're getting from adding liquidity. So in conclusion, liquidity pools provide a user-friendly platform for both users and exchanges. The user does not have to meet any eligibility criteria to participate. which means that anyone in the world can participate and provide liquidity to earn a yield, to earn a return in a DeFi ecosystem. In these ecosystems, liquidity pools play an essential role, and this concept has increased the level of decentralization. So I hope you like this deep dive into liquidity pools by how to DeFi the system. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.